Have you ever noticed how exhausting it is to be quiet all the time? Not the soft, peaceful quiet that follows a long day, but the quiet that happens inside you. The kind of quiet where you hold everything in because saying it out loud feels like too much work or too risky or too likely to be misunderstood. It's the silence that sits beneath your smile, the silence that hums behind your conversations, the silence where your thoughts never stop moving. They nudge you, tug at you, whisper at you, saying, "Hey, don't forget, fix this, be strong, don't fail, try harder." You've been carrying so much for so long that the weight no longer feels separate from you. It has woven itself into the way your shoulders sit, the way you breathe, the way you think, the way you respond, or even love. It lives in your chest, in your jaw, in your gut, in the way your mind stays alert even when you're tired. You carry responsibilities few people see, like deadlines that feel impossible, emotional labor, being the listener, the comforter, the safe place, family expectations that seem to grow instead of soften, old hurts that were never tended to, mistakes you replay long after everyone else has forgotten them. And then there's the empathy, the beautiful, heavy empathy. You feel the feelings of others as if they are your own, their sadness, their pressure, their disappointment. You hold it because you don't want them to hold it alone. For a while, you told yourself, yes, this is normal. This was normal, necessary, expected. For a while, you kept moving because surviving was the only option on the table. But your body remembers. Have you noticed? The way your shoulder tense before you're even aware of stress, the tightness in your jaw, even when you're swallowing words, the knot in your stomach when you're trying to stay composed, the heaviness in your head when your thoughts won't slow down. These aren't random, they're echoes, symptoms of the invisible weight you've carried in silence. Your body always tells the truth. Even when your mind tries to push through, the truth is simple. You've been carrying more than any person was ever meant to carry alone. Not because you're weak, not because you're failing, but because you've been strong for too long without rest. The heaviest burdens are almost always the one no one sees. If people could see the invisible weight you carry, the mental load, the emotional labor, the expectations, the constant internal monitoring, maybe they would understand. Maybe they would help. But because so much of your burden is internal, unspoken, or minimized, it stays invisible. And that invisibility is part of what makes it so exhausting. Invisible weight is like water filling a cup. A drop here, a splash there, a new responsibility, a small disappointment, an unresolved emotion. It rises slowly, quietly. And then one day, one tiny moment, one offhand comment, one small inconvenience, it sends the cup overflowing. Not because you're dramatic, not because you're unstable, but because you've been full for a very long time. This is not madness. This is not weakness. This is humanity under pressure. And it has a cost. It has a cost of carrying too much emotional fatigue, cognitive overload, and while racing thoughts, looping worries of no mental off switch. There comes a decision paralysis that even small choices feel overwhelming, physical tension, and then we have the self blame. We feel guilty, feeling like you're not enough even when you're trying your hardest. And worse, you're disconnected. feeling distant from yourself, like you're surviving more than living. And yet, you're still there and you keep going. That says something about your strength. But strength without pause eventually becomes depletion. You cannot keep pouring from a well you never refill. So, many women carrying too much, even they were conditioned to. Maybe you grew up in a home where your needs were minimized. Maybe you learned early that your value came from helping others. Or maybe you were praised for being mature, responsible, or strong long before you even felt ready. Maybe people depended on you so often that you believe you weren't allowed to need anything yourself. These are not flaws. These are survival strategies. Intelligent, adaptive, protective. But when survival mode becomes a lifestyle, it becomes heavy. Your nervous system stays alert. Your mind stays busy. You keep scanning for what needs fixing, what needs helping, what needs managing. Healing begins with simple acknowledgement, like when we tell yourself that or acknowledge that, hey, you've been carrying too much. You have done the best you could with what you have, that you are allowed to rest, that you are allowed to put down what you're never mind meant to carry. Those are simple truths of acknowledgement that can lighten up that burden. Maybe we can unpack that weight, like providing yourself a gentle space to sit alone for like 10 to 15 minutes without distraction, or breathe, that you place your hand over your chest or stomach to let your body soften, or probably identifying the invisible weight. You may want to write if you do not want to speak everything you've been carrying. Probably practical, emotional, relational, with no filter. Like, you might want to ask yourself, what are you carrying that you shouldn't have to? Which responsibilities are draining you quietly? Whose emotions are you absorbing as if they are your own? And probably you might want to close with compassion, to tell yourself that I see you. I know hard you've tried. You are allowed to rest now. Some forms of self reflections, like which burdens have I carried silent for years? Or how much has this invisible weight shaped my health, my choices, my relationship? What would it feel like to release it, even 5% of this heavy weight? So let me tell you that invisible weight is real and it shapes your thoughts, your body, your emotions, your relationship. That healing is possible if we begin by acknowledging them, not action, not fixing, not pushing harder. Just simply acknowledge it. So, in this talk that I have been telling you right now, I'd like to assure you that your heaviness that you've been carrying is seen, that your strength is a strength that keep you going is seen, that you are not weak, that you are simply tired and you deserve to rest, to you deserve softness and you deserve support. Even if nothing in your external life changes today, naming the weight you carry is a profound act of self respect. So I hope that the simple reflection that I shared with you would at least lighten up your burden and provide you with some sort of reflection as well. So let's talk again next time and have a good night rest.